Welcome back to the show, everybody. XRP is not going to be denied. You know, one of the best ways to not be denied in this world is to be undeniable. And at $1.20, with an SEC lawsuit sitting over its head, XRP on this day is absolutely undeniable. Let's roll that beautiful intro.
This is Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Subscribe for new content notifications. Now, here's Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow me on Twitter, Backup Bradley above at the top of the screen, and everything that we're talking about here today. 2 trillion plus this morning, ladies and gentlemen, for the cryptocurrency market cap. 2 trillion plus, 2 trillion 58 billion plus. That's where we're at on this morning. And happy Saturday morning to everybody. And you have to ask yourself, where's the volume coming from? I was just talking to Mr. B and a couple others this morning about the same exact thing. One is left with only one estimation here. One of a couple things. One, institutional money's coming into this space, and they're doing it on the weekend, hoping that all the retail investors are out grilling hamburgers, drinking a few beers, and sleeping off the cold ones they had, and they don't realize what's going on this morning. But for those of us that do understand, there is big money and big volume moving in this space right now. Now, one of the interesting things here is that XRP is sitting right now at $1.23 now, ladies and gentlemen, and that is pretty damn remarkable right now. $1.23. I am so excited to see that, and I know you guys are too. Oh my goodness. How's your fancy little coin doing, they ask. Well, I tell you what, if they don't ask, I'll be calling them so they do. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about this morning. So at any rate, let's talk about a few things here because I want to go over some news and then I just want to ponder a little bit about what's going on with price and the volume and see if we can't come up with a couple things to understand all of these price predictions that we've been looking at that are showing on the charts from many different technical analysts. Let's see if we can find some fundamental news and events that may take place that really support the idea of where we could go. All right, and I think that's one of the most interesting things about the technical analysts and what they're finding is that it happens to be lining up with what could become major fundamental events. All right, one thing I wanted to touch on really quickly, it was 117 this morning. Shout out to DJ Peter Vass for catching that clip. That was really nice. I opened my eyes, looked at price, and that's where it was. And it now, after taking a breath, it pulled back just a little, and we're up now, and we were at 121 just a second ago before starting the record button here. Okay, now we're going to get into, and I've touched on this a lot, but look, 133 is a target here from Dark Defender, who has been kind enough to share information. I'm showing this so we can keep an evaluation of whether we hit these target points or not. Right? And if we don't, we can look and see what the charts say after taking into account any kind of adjustment or a pullback that is unexpected. So we'll keep a lookout for those things as well. But right now, we seem to be on target for that $1.33 and then eventually $2.72. And then hopefully we finish the Elliott wave pattern here at $13. That would be remarkable. So we're going to keep an eye on all of this. Remember, he's the same one that gave us the long-term targets here of $20 sometime this year, very soon in second quarter, and then another projection of $120, $125 US by the third quarter for XRP. We're going to keep an eye on that, and obviously it gets higher and higher as you go on into 2023 and beyond. Okay, but let's go on and catch some of this news real quick and then talk about some of these fundamental things that could support those price moves. Ripple CTO XRP can't fail due to SEC lawsuit as market cap is too big, according to David Schwartz. Stellar has a very similar technology, but a different strategy. Okay, I don't want to get down into the mix of between Stellar and XRP. What I do want to say here is that another reason that Ripple can't fail is because the majority of their customer base is not in the United States. So whatever the U.S. SEC and the courts decide here, it's not going to affect the rest of the world. It's just going to hurt the United States. And because Ripple achieved widespread adoption with XRP, I don't feel that that's going to be in the United States' best interest going forward. However, we have discussed on this channel many, many times that if XRP were to get a security designation, there is a path for XRP to exist and to function and to work within the United States. So however they come out of this thing, I'm fine with it. And truthfully, the case itself is over the sales of XRP, not whether XRP is a security or not. However, with that being said, it is over the sales of XRP, not whether XRP is a security or not. And the fact of the matter is you could argue all day back and forth. The real deal is if you believe XRP is a currency, then you believe the OTC deals that Ripple has done is really a loan. If you believe XRP is in fact an unregistered security, then you believe that those are investment contracts. That's how I see that, and that's how we're going with it from there. But now, that aside, we have to start looking at everything else that's going on. So let's go on here because, like I said, I don't think the Ripple can fail or XRP because it has such a large user base around the world. And believe me, if anybody gets it, these two judges get it. And that's why they're holding on to the operational aspects of the asset in making their decision in this case, and that is a huge positive for Ripple. Okay, here from BondCrypt, bank begins blocking shares of companies who buy Bitcoin. Are you seeing this? Hey, are you hearing this? HSBC allegedly blocks customers from buying MicroStrategy shares, citing new crypto policy. Say it isn't so. Well, you just hate to see it. Listen, this is scary for me too. I hold Bitcoin. I've been, very open about the idea that whatever I say is good or bad about a token, I tell you whether I hold it. I hold some Bitcoin, and it's significant enough for me to be concerned here. I'm seeing more and more effort here to harness Bitcoin and what it is and where it can go and what it should actually be considered. And I see more and more of that coming, whether it's about the proof of work and the carbon footprint, the potential to see a massive carbon footprint tax, either on miners or holders or both. That's a problem. And you factor in the idea and notion like Big Skinny floated last week. What if we were to see a 51% attack on Bitcoin because China's the largest miner there? What if we were to see a 51% attack on Bitcoin? Well, that would be damaging. It'd be very damaging. And I hope that doesn't happen. And I hope there's some kind of contingency or some kind of approach they can take regulatory-wise to be able to keep that from happening. I understand you can't stop the tech. I'm not trying to stop the tech. But I think what we are seeing is the pounding of the ground on a narrative that says something's coming for proof of work like Bitcoin, and you better be ready for what it is. Because they might not be able to stop the tech, but they could regulate it into and out of existence if they want to. Now, moving on here, looking at this, Coinbase joins DeFi Accelerator. This is massive. Coinbase, that's right, who is going to direct listing IPO in 4 days, has just announced they've joined with DeFi Accelerator to help decentralize finance to the masses. Ladies and gentlemen, the first and largest crypto exchange on the planet that is going to IPO in 4 days has just announced that they're getting in DeFi and they're going to bring it to the masses. What? What? Do you realize what this is going to do to the IPO when this goes public and this hits on the market? And they go, not only is it this new crypto exchange that's going public, but they're getting ready to open up a whole new sector of earnings off of DeFi. Is this on? Oh my goodness. And then I'm looking here and this is linked to, and I tell you, this is where they used to be. Coinbase was right here. And you know what? Yes, you have to be an accredited investor to get these SPVs. But you know what? You don't need to meet the criteria. You can take the test, sign up and register with them, contact them, and take the exam FX. I think it's exam FX. And you can sign up and take that test, which you get a discount coupon code through them for. And you could take all the resources they give you through that exam FX, and you could take all the resources from that and take the digital practice test a gazillion times until you're ready to pass it. And then you could pass the Series 65 and clamp down, study for a couple weeks and go past the damn thing. And then you won't need to meet the criteria that's involved. So no more excuses. We make our own universe. We make our own world, right? And I'm encouraging you, if you're interested in owning these things before they go public, like Uphold is probably going to go public soon. Or we know Kraken has announced, and I don't know if they're on here, but keep a lookout. You know, I know there's going to be Ripple's going to be back on here soon. And listen, these things don't last. Uphold on here right now. What do you think that's going to do? We just did an interview with JP Theriot and talked to him, and I played for you on the show. He said an 80% likelihood that in the next 30 to 60 days, they were going to be announcing joining a partnership with a platform of 100 million users. What is this? It's $6.75 right now. What do you think that's going to be after a Coinbase IPO, and then Coinbase announcing now that they're going to get into DeFi, which is going to probably drive the IPO to the moon, and then you have something like Uphold sitting here for $6.75. Oh my goodness. I'm actually looking at considering taking the test, but I don't want to have any conflicts with my channel if I actually do become a financial advisor. So I have to talk to a lawyer and confer with him about that. But nevertheless, you know, it's so exciting to me because of what is going on right now. And again, sitting here at $1.20, looking at this and understanding that the market is unfolding. Now, let's take a look really quickly. Let's go down a few things here that could absolutely have massive impact on XRP's price. And by the way, utility, because there's the price driver we're really looking for, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to see the $1.20 go away. I don't want to see a $5 or $10 XRP go away. If it fluctuates, fine, I get it. But what I'm talking about is eventually seeing utility become the price driver to XRP. So we know that there's absolutely going to be a floor on that price that you can count on. Now, looking at this, one of the things we could see fundamentally is we could see relisting of XRP on exchanges. If you haven't seen this morning's video, I encourage you to watch it. It's BX Plus or something of that nature has relisted XRP. They're out of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and they've relisted XRP, period. So that's incredible. CoinGate relisted XRP. They've not opened it up for U.S. users, but they put it back on the exchange. There's two right there. We had the Like Exchange, which relisted XRP, I believe in Switzerland, I believe it was. Don't hold me to that, but they did that before we had the hashtag relist movement. That I think early on they realized, hey, this is nothing. We're putting it back on the board. So we know it's on Uphold already and has been. They've been a constant. They've been amazing, and so is BitTrue. Now, BitTrue, you can't buy it direct if you're a U.S. resident, but you can trade into it once you're on the platform. So, okay, another big thing. Ripple winning the lawsuit against the SEC. One of the things I think we're going to see in the near future is we're going to see the case with Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson get dropped and dismissed. And there isn't much left after that, ladies and gentlemen, because once you get rid of those two things there, I think it really does come down to what we're talking about in the last exchange and what Jeremy Hogan highlighted that I covered in the first video this morning. And please go watch that video. It is fire. And the reality here is, for me, is that it really comes down to the operational aspects of XRP. It does, in fact, function, and it is very similar to Ethereum and what Ethereum is, and the fact that people can build off of the open source technology. And one of the highlighted differences is that it's much cheaper to use the XRP network. And I'm not trying to crack on Ethereum. It just happens to be a fact. Okay, so another thing that we're looking at, and this would be a support to utility here. Those things would be fundamentals that would support a price move of confidence, I think, right? And none of what we're talking about, obviously, is financial advice, right? I'm just going over to you my perspectives on what we're seeing here, what we could see going forward. One of the things I'm extremely excited about is Ripple getting this lawsuit out of the way. Now, Ripple has asked in the prayer for relief, and I think it was in the second section, for the judge to go further than to determine what the SEC has asked. The Ripple has asked for the judge to make clarity in their prayer for relief on what XRP is. Look at this, $1.24, just like that. It's Saturday morning. I hope you don't think this is all retail buying. Certainly you don't, because I know better too. At the end of the day, let's look at this, because this next thing here cannot be overstated, to be honest with you. It's what I believe is to be that enormous to support the level of utility that we need to support price, whether it's $1.24 or whether it's $100 in Q3, like Dark Defender and DIY Investing are telling us we may be seeing before the end of this year. Okay. So with that being said, it's Flare Networks and Flare Finance, ladies and gentlemen. Once they launch this summer, the level of utility, locking up XRP and Flare, the Spark tokens, when you see this kind of interoperability and new use case utility being executed on a daily basis and taking advantage of, because of the potential that's there through locking up in many different style of offerings of DeFi on the Flare Finance side of the Flare network. I'm telling you right now, I believe that this cannot be overstated how big it will be for a supportive price, not only a price that moves up, but one that sustains. Because I believe that utility of other coins being able to come there and knowing that XRP holders have been awarded the Flare tokens so they can begin to make arrangements and using the power of using those tokens to vote and lock up and make money. And this, to me, is a massive opportunity for all of us as XRP holders and obviously Flare Spark token holders. So massive what's going on right now. $1.24, $4.41 right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is remarkable seeing this move, and it is strong. You can see how hard this thing is rolling right now. So again, remembering XRP doesn't need mining. XRP can be staked, and it won't affect the transaction price the way the Ethereum is affected by staking. You remember, the fees, the gas fees are terrible high. I just talked to a buddy yesterday, Stephen L. and Big Skinny. We had a conference call, and we were going over some stuff they were doing, and they were getting hit with enormous gas fees for a one-time transaction. It was crazy. And it took 47 minutes, and they paid, I believe he said, $42 or $45, and the transaction took 47 minutes to complete. That does not a solution make. This much I can tell you right now. And shout out to both of them. Okay, so, that's one of the big things here. And the transactions being a fraction of a cent. Utility that is not going away and is only going to get bigger. That's what we're talking about. Of course, we got to get the Ripple win on the lawsuit. Of course, we got to get XRP relisted, right? But the reality is that we have been restricted or handicapped as U.S. retail investors. And the other side of that coin is simply this. Do you think that's an accident? I don't. Do you think it's an accident that you think this is retail money pouring in right here? Over $2 trillion in retail money. You believe that? And I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I'd like to sell you. All right, that's going to do it for me, and this is where we are. One more thing before we go. Think about this. Gary Gensler may be approved in 2 days. Confirmed, excuse me. Will he be confirmed in a couple days here? Could it be a conflict of interest because he worked at MIT, for which Ripple donated millions of dollars to while he was there? Is it a conflict of interest to have him confirmed under those circumstances? I don't know the answer to that. I'd like to know the answer to that. $1.25 right here, ladies and gentlemen. That's where we're at on this day. Head on a swivel. Like I said, Dark Defender told us, watch out for that target. Watch out for that target. Here it is right here. $1.33. He called it a long time ago. We made the first analysis March 18th, 2021. These people are real. Let's keep an eye on it. This is amazing stuff. That's going to do it for me. Let's hope we keep seeing more price action. And before too long, let's hope we get a little more clarity here. Where's Gary Gensler? Let's get him confirmed. If there's no conflict of interest, let's get him confirmed. And let's get some real leadership at the SEC, because that place is a mess. I'll catch all of you on the next one.